Right, Shalom Israel, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostle, elders, great millstone, much salutations to the brothers teaching the word for the hopeful elect, soon to be elect, most high will. The hopeful still elect, Shalom blessings. I'm going to just call this, it only takes 10 minutes, or, it could be 5, but I would say 10 at max. And, it was a PSA, Pastor Har made PSA video that you must make a, it's coming in the famine of the word, make a Rumble account and make a, basically, the Rumble and the, slipping my mind, man, it's a lot. But, a Rumble and a Odysee, it slipped my mind, man. But because I'm familiar with Odysee more than Rumble, so but it's a quick sign up, email, basic information, email and send you a code to your email, get in, and like the apostles, elders been saying, bishops been saying, like it's gonna come a famine of word. And just a note too that of course they do everything by gradualism, so they're gonna make it seem like things are still cool, what I mean by that, but the world's still turning, which it is gonna be. I mean, things are still gonna be going on. They're gonna still have music out there, entertainers and all that, while it's falling apart. It's basically a makeup type of thing, and on our part, it could get worse. That's why the Most High said, "Prepare for the times." And they're gonna try to drown us out, trying to label us, and people are like, "What? Nothing's wrong." I mean, even with the uproars and all that, and even during martial law, if they're gonna try to point out like the troublemakers, and we're gonna look like the troublemakers, because people are still gonna have houses and still pay rent and still go to jobs, it's a lot of jobs being lost, a lot of business being, you know, um, you know, basically collapsing. Economy is getting worse, but somehow, and we know how, it's still, the people are still living their lives, still going to parties and all that. So, it could really get dark, man. So we always pray. But like I said, this is just a video, kind of reminder and just the elements of creating this account, which is easy, like I said. And then they're gonna say, "Are you human?" I haven't posted anything on here, but I kind of I use the same name, Brightburn. I didn't put GMS this time, but everybody know my main channel, GMS Brightburn. And you can see to the right, and it's kind of like set up same thing as YouTube, so to speak. But I haven't really played with it yet. But I'm pretty sure, it's very similar. I don't know why my account information, it says anonymous. But, I did set up a Rumble account. And this is kind of like the basic layout. So, it doesn't take anything, man. Like the apostle said, make these 2 accounts, man. You can go there, email, password, same thing as any setup with any platform. Same basic information, and I'm not a robot, And we know like certain methods, dynamics of this power system that plays into our lives, far as privacy is concerned, and we know that they watching us, we know they listening to us, so be careful with the content. I mean, I don't know how free uh, uh, Rumble is and Odyssey, but I'm talking about as far as YouTube, like apostles, the elders, bishops always say, use code words. Be careful how you go about your internet searches, and you know, uh, and even in the world, it's the same thing. So they got face recognition now. A lot of things are going digital, um, and they're gonna. I'm telling you, this cybercrime thing is gonna. They're gonna start keying in on cyber crimes. Fines up to jail time, stuff like that. So even that movie Minority Report was seeing like a futuristic movie. It plays a relevant part of what they're doing today, and it's all according to prophecy because we've made videos about it. So you know, um, but a lot of, since they can't get us, like on real crimes, and they're gonna start doing the cyber crimes. So that's why they got the face recognition. They got sign-ins. They got to make sure you're not a robot, so they can say, well, you signed it. It's not AI. You can't blame it on AI. You signed it. Said I'm not a human. So with all this AI going on, is it kind of it could really blur the lines between what's real and not. So they're definitely probably going to put that that what do you call it? They make it mandatory to check that box that you're saying you're not a robot. Robot. Okay, I can definitely. If they do have any charges on you, they could definitely say, "Well, nah, this is not a robot. This is not AI, so you can't blame it on that." So it's going to be really interesting to 2026. We're still in the year of hopeful year of the Yahweh Shai's return, and destruction and judgment on Esau. And even if it's like November, that doesn't that prophecy doesn't go away. Even if it's January 1st, that prophecy is still in play. Like I said, prophecies they until, like it says in scripture, to all is fulfilled. I think Yahweh Shai said that himself. To all is fulfilled, man. So um, these are just other methods, other platforms, you know, um, and it might make us, whatever, easier to find. I mean, come on, man. They got technology, hella technology, so we're easy to find anyway. Every time you go to a job, they ask you to fill out all your information, your new address if you have one. If you move, your new email, if you change your email, and they say, well, if all this is confidential and that this is correct, correct it, and then you submit it, and then they say, well, and then they say, well, any false information could, uh, criminalize you, basically, I guess. I mean, so they're very particular about how you sign policies, what your signature and all that, and that's what's going to be with these last platforms that we entered to, this matrix, this rabbit hole, in these last times, and it's going to get very lonely and dark and evil, and that's why we always pray. That's why we're starting fast more, do more videos, and less time out there, because it's coming down to where the curtains are closing. So you know, but anyway, those people that are not concerned and never were, they're gonna just you know go into more confusion, more chaos, and more detriment to themselves. Um, the ones that complain about the truth, complain about the work, complain about the brotherhood, complain about order, they're gonna wax worse, and they're gonna catch themselves in a frenzy. What they say, a bag that they can't, a box that they can't get out of. You know, because no matter what, the Most High is in control, and we face things that may seem dark and may seem overwhelming, might seem like to drain all our energy. It might seem like very um, confined as a man, as a just a man, like by yourself. Though we got the brotherhood, though we got the ministry, though we got the word, and I'm just saying this because I'm talking a lot, but I'm the intimidation and interrogation and fear is a tactic they use, and gradualism is a part of that. So, you know, we got to be strong and hope we endure to the end. But yeah, just it only takes like 5 to 10 minutes, man. You know, this is a very simple sign up. So that's all I want to say, and get back to the scriptures in the next video. Shalom. Hope it is helpful. To the next. Shalom.